Who you call first in times of trouble reveals where your true trust lies. Pressure reveals people, not when life is calm, not when everything is working smoothly, but when something shakes us, when the unexpected bill arrives, when the doctor calls in with new information, when the opportunity disappears, when you lose your job, when life surprises you with many kinds of problems. Before we even breathe, we react. And then the mind starts speculating and calculating. Who can help me? What can I move? What can I sell? How much do I have in my account? Where should I go? What can I do? In those few seconds, something powerful is revealed, because where you first run to reveals your foundation of your trust, not what you say you trust, but in the heat, in the chaos, under the pressure, where you run to or your first call reveals where your true trust lies. And during this time, something interesting happens in life. When you run to God first, clarity and answer comes faster than expected. Direction appears, peace settles, and wisdom rises. You see, but when people run everywhere else first, to the money, to people, to strategy, and all kinds of solutions, eventually they reach a place where people will say, well, where it has gotten to unless God. And but the real question is, why wait? Why exhaust every other option before turning to the one who promised to stand with you? And the Lord said in the book of Isaiah 41 verse 10, he said, fear not, for I am with you. He said, do not be dismayed. I am your God. I will help you and I will strengthen you and I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. So if he has already promised you his presence, his strength and his help, why make him the last call when he has already asked you to make him the first? Because remember, your first call reveals where your true trust is. God's first posture is the key to everything and everything. This pattern appears throughout scripture. When Israel stood trapped between Pharaoh's army and the Red Sea in the book of Exodus, the people panicked before they prayed. They complained and murmured before they trusted. But Moses turned vertically before moving horizontally. He aligned with God first. And when alignment happened, the sea responded by parting into two for them to cross over to the other side. Listen, when David faced Goliath in the book of 1 Samuel chapter 17, everyone else measured the giant, his hammer, his height, his intimidation. But David didn't measure the giant. He declared the name of the Lord first. Others saw size, but David saw covenant, because your first interpretation to a situation reveals where your trust lives. And when King Jehoshaphat was surrounded by multiple armies in the book of Second Chronicles chapter 20, he didn't call for military advisors. He didn't send for diplomatic messages. He proclaimed the fast. And he prayed one of the most honest prayer in scripture. God, we do not know what to do, but our eyes are on you. And that is God's first posture. The key. It is the moment when panic steps aside and trust steps forward. Mind you, he said trust and obey. But that is the only way you'll be happy in the Lord. Because the fastest way out of confusion, it is no more calculation, it is alignment. When your eyes turn to God first in every situation, clarity comes faster, peace comes sooner, and direction becomes visible. Because when heaven becomes your first call, you stop wandering through solution, and heaven becomes your guidance. And that is why scripture keeps reminding us that victory does not always begin with knowing what to do. Sometimes victory begins with knowing where to look first. So when the next pressure comes in life, remember to pray this prayer. Oh Lord, for we do not know what to do, but our eyes are on you. Let your good spirit guide us on a level ground. And that is trust, and that is alignment. And often that is the fastest way to break through. Now here is the core revelation. Putting God first does not mean becoming passive. It means becoming alignment. Before your strategy, seek alignment. Before calling 10 people in time of trouble, call on heaven. Before moving money from your account, seek wisdom. Because sometimes when we have abundance of money, when we have connected people or people with power, when we have problem, we don't look to call on God first. We begin to look at our money in our account. We begin to look at the people we know. But mind you, when you go after those people, they come with disappointment. And that is when somebody will tell you where it has gotten to unless God. Don't wait for somebody to tell you unless God. Always go to God first. And when God comes first, your breakthrough comes faster. Because when God is first, even your practical steps are guided. Mind you, he said, the steps of the righteous are ordered by the Lord. And David said in Psalms, he said, let your good spirit guide me on a level ground. And when the Spirit of God is guiding you on a level ground, You move with precision. You move in peace. You don't move with anxiety. You don't move in anxiousness. You move in calm. You move with certainty because you know who you have trusted in. But when God becomes your last resort, you begin to move in anxiety. You begin to move in chaos. You begin to move distracted. Look at the modern world. Today we trust in savings account, professional networks, influence, visibility, connection, all kinds of things. None of these things are evil, but they are not the true source when God is not your first call. If your peace disappears when your money decreases, then money was your trust. If your confidence collapses when opportunity closes, then the platform was your trust. Your first reaction in every situation or condition always exposes your true foundation trust. You never truly know what to trust or where your trust is until something shakes you. Crisis reveals foundation. Pressure exposes your priorities. When everything is stable and calm and working perfect, everyone sounds faithful. But when the storm arrives, your reflex becomes your revelation. Your instinct speaks louder than your confession. And that is where your true trust is revealed. The scripture says in the book of Psalms, chapter 20, verse 7, some trust in chariots, some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. In the ancient war times, chariots and horses represented power, military strength, security, visible protection. But the Psalms reveal something deeper. Many people trust only what they can see, but those who truly know God trust the one who controls what they cannot see. Blessed are they who have not seen but trust. Because the first place you run to reveals where your confidence truly lives. If your first instinct is panic, fear will lead you. If your first instinct is strategy, then pressure will lead you. But if God is your first instinct, peace begins to lead you. And that is covenant posture. Mind you, God is not an emergency contact. God is your first call. God is your first and last call. Stop roaming about when you can return to your first call. Stop calculating when you can align. Stop running everywhere before looking upward. Because your first call reveals your true trust. If panic comes first, trust needs rebuilding. But if prayer comes first, peace follows. So before the next storms arrives, decide your reflex, because order determines your outcomes. Make heaven your first call, not your final option. And if this message stirred your spirit, remember this: your first reaction in crisis is not accidental. It is the echo of what you truly trust in. Train your reflex now. Make God your first call. David said, "Let the morning bring me a word of unfailing love. Show me the way I should go. Teach me to do your will, and let your good spirit guide me on a level ground." Make God your first call. Remember to be strong and courageous, because with God, our first call, we will scale over everything. Stay blessed, and God bless you.